Welcome to Walker Bend. I'm Eddie Walker, and I thought tonight I would just do a quick studio tour of my home studio here. This is all brand new. We'll be doing some more videos about our move, and so part of what we did here is remodel an older frame house that we've had for a long time. That was just a rental property next to the camp, and so we've moved in here and remodeled. This was a big bedroom that was in the back, and kind of making it into my studio here. So some of you may know for years I traveled and did music, and had a little project studio. Would do production work and orchestration. Fell in love with jazz along the way. Loved to orchestrate, produce for bands and things like that. So just different projects. When I wasn't at a camp or church somewhere doing music. Anyway, I've always had a studio, and for most of my career I had a real high-end equipment. And when I got in the recording studio business, you kind of priced yourself into the market. So if you could get the equipment and afford to own it, you kind of got the business. Well, now every junior high kid has on their laptop or their phone, more effects and, compressors and all kinds of tools that I could only have dreamed of having back when I was in my 20s and trying to go into debt to afford to be in the studio business. But anyway, that's, as I've grown older, I definitely like the simplicity. I've been paring down a whole lot, whereas I've always played the very best keyboards really from the time I was about 19 years old. It was really when MIDI started getting big, and had some of the best kind of equipment that was out there. As I hit my 50s, I'm like, man, I'm done carrying around heavy equipment. I've moved away from music primarily when I started teaching, so I still do what I want to do and do music for fun. As I do these videos, I'll probably just, what I've done for my first couple is just sit and play along with whatever video I happen to do a take or two, possibly, and just stick it on the video there. But mostly, I want to write more. I want to do more orchestration. I'm hoping I'm in a place now where we can do some, just get together with friends and jam. So more music of what it was when I was first starting out. So just to look around here, I've kind of got a wall here set up. I don't know if you can see that with some of my strings and stuff on it. So my last studio had barnwood. I loved that look and stuff like that. This room is very white, so but that's fine. It looks fine. But anyway, this is what I actually started on. Started playing the fiddle when I was a kid. This was my great-grandfather's fiddle. My granddad gave it to me, and he got all the grandkids a fiddle and gave us fiddle lessons when we were little kids. That's pretty scary. So, but anyway, when I was a kid, we got fiddle lessons. They would cart us around to fiddle contests and learn to play our little songs. We'd go down to our farm in East Texas, and the neighbors would come in. There wasn't any TV reception down there much, not much to do on weekends, and so we would play music. And so my dad played guitar, and my mom played piano, and we were playing a little bit of fiddle and stuff. The kids would come in there, play their few songs, and they just had a notebook full of country songs and bluegrass and gospel, and they'd play music from 9 o'clock until 1 in the morning, and we'd fall asleep with music. And I don't think there's any better training than learning, all that's by ear. And so playing with other musicians and playing by ear, there's no better way to get started. I'm for piano lessons and all that. I had my share, but most of my training was kind of self-taught a lot. So I got a ukulele there. I don't play that. I actually got that for Cole, so that's his ukulele. This mandolin here, this was my, I've got a pick around here, my granddad's, Eddie Hendricks, and I think this was dark brown originally, and he was a musician. I didn't know him well. He died when I was about 6, 7 years old. So I remember him, but unfortunately didn't get to be around him a whole lot. But just a great legacy. So anyway, some real early electronics here. This is probably, man, I guess this is probably 65 or 70 years old. I don't know if I doubt these electronics are original, but they were added somewhere along the way. So anyway, that's that. Got this U bass here. It's a ukulele bass, and I actually saw Jacob Collier play that, and I just thought it was cool, so I wanted to get one, and it really is kind of neat when you hook it up to sound system, how much bass you can get out of a little tiny instrument like that. I guess if you were carting around and just wanted to throw something in a bag and go somewhere, maybe it would do, but it's not a great bass, but probably doing a pinch. And then got a Takamine guitar. Buddy Brett played that a lot and turned me onto that one. And his son Mitchell Morrison has a Morrison guitar shop here in Rockwall, and man, he builds some amazing guitars and stuff. And his dad's a great player. He's been playing. We've been a buddy of mine. We played together forever, and he hooked me up with that one. It's one that he played for a long time. I'm not a guitarist. I played a little bit to get by when I was traveling around doing camps and stuff like that. So, and I picked a little when I was a kid, but I learned a long time ago to hire better guitarists than me. But in a pinch, if you're at a camp and singing around a campfire, I can get by with some songs or that kind of stuff. I've got a cello back there that needs a new bridge. I've got the bridge there, but when you put a new bridge on those, you kind of have to carve them out to be the right size for the strings. So I'm not done with that. And then got a bass here. I don't know if you can see that. So that's kind of nice. So that's the thing I tend to stand up and mess around with when when I just walk in the room. I used to go straight to my keys, but now I usually go to my bass. I wanted one for years, and so it's nice to have that. But I wanted to show you this. I get asked a lot, and by the way, I'm a Mac guy still, to date anyway. I use Final Cut Pro. So if I'm recording stuff, usually I'm going to record a software piano. You can get a Steinway. I like the Spitfire audio libraries and stuff. If I've got some of their things. I've got a little audio box, just a 2-channel MIDI in and out that I use with that. A lot of my stuff's older. I just don't get the latest and greatest anymore. Just not at that stage of my life where I want to mess with that. But one thing I did want was something light. I carted around a Yamaha keyboard for a long time, and I love the piano sound. It's mostly what I stick to. But man, the thing's heavy. And I went and did took it to something I was doing music for, and thought I'm tired of that. So I wanted to just stick with my maybe computer or a little MIDI controller. And so what I got, this is the StudioLogic Numa Compact 2X. So it's an 88 key, it's not weighted, and it's would almost be considered consumer. I guess it's about $700 or something like that. I've had this maybe a year and a half or something like that. As soon as it came out, I was on a waiting list to get one because it had several things that interested me about it. I've not heard one. And there's things about it that seem kind of consumer, like it has built-in speakers. And in Pro World, I've got studio monitors and all that stuff. Used to, when I would play my keys, you got to turn on the keys, you got to turn on your speakers, got to turn on your mixing board and all that stuff. And I just wanted something I could just come in and play. And so it's just got, it's basically a split keyboard. It's got 2 sounds at a time. So like that's a piano pad, and it's just real simple to either pick one or the other. It's got a real quick volume for both of those. It's got really fast, I can just get straight to the reverb. It's got a couple of effects that you can put on either or both of the instruments at a time, like choruses, you know, delays and stuff like that. But it's all just one knob, one button, turn it on. And the way sounds are these days, my take on, you know, people ask me what's the best keyboard. It's like, if you want a piano or something to learn on, or something for your child to learn on, it's hard to go wrong. I mean, every manufacturer has great sounds. It's a great time to be alive. Same thing with your computer, your phone, all that stuff. Whereas used to, you really had to pay high dollar to get the best sounds. You know, there's certainly a difference, and there's you know, a $6,000 keyboard is certainly going to have a lot of stuff that something like this is not going to have. But man, for my 2 cents of just getting around, I'm not gigging full time or not in a studio full time or anything like that. Even if I were, I'd probably turn off these sounds and, you know, play through my computer sounds or something like that. But it's got organ drawbars, so if you go to like an organ patch or something like that, or you can set up your own. But all the tremolos, all those things, kind of the Leslie sounds and such. So, but my main thing, you know, I will, you know, I usually keep a couple of sounds. I've got a just a pad sound that I keep on this. I've taken this to a, you know, I played a show at South Fork and stuff, and sound guy's gonna make this sound fine for what I need to do. I'll keep a pad. Got one that's electric piano and a pad. I got one that's a piano and a pad. I can turn one or the other off. I can mix them together if I want to bring in pads over and piano. It's just one knob and simple. So, and main thing is, I don't, you know, 90% of the time when I'm playing, it's just like I want to get an idea, or got something, you know, in my ear that I want to look at. I can just sit down and play. So, and then, you know, my laptop's right here. If I need a mic, I've got my audio input, so I can throw down a bass line or guitar or something like that. But it's just simple. So I'm a fan. I think, you know, the speakers are going to blow and not be that great. But again, if I want actual good sound, I can always play them through studio speakers. And sounds aren't as good as a $4,000 and $5,000 keyboard, but they will certainly do for me. So that's kind of my studio setup. I like watching videos, see what people use at their house, and we'll show you some other parts of our house. This paneling was kind of stained, old paneling. We did paint over it and added some new windows and things like that. But anyway, I like it in here. It's a good room, and hope to make some good music, maybe some good videos, and that's what's happening around the bend. Thanks, and God bless.